Look,
We're live.
look, since Dagan's video, since the Millennial Legends video,
Yeah.
I gained 2 fans behind me. It's backing me up.
Backing you up per se.
Yeah, support. Support.
What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Millennial Legends vlog that just came out today with yours truly on the sidelines. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Plus, there's a couple of things that you wanted to mention. That's what's hot in my pocket. What's burning a hole in your pants?
Yeah. Well, there's today, since yesterday, basically, people have just gotten into my nerve. I mean, I'm with everything that's going on with me right now. I got the stress of like trying to figure out finding a new place to rent. The worry of packing and moving. Some work stuff that's going on in my head. Plus, people yesterday really got to my nerve. I'm sorry, but there are too many people that are too fucking entitled in this country and this world that and they're just rude and it's pissing me off. I woke up with it. I woke up with it. I woke up hot in a cold room.
That's
how bad it is.
Are you talking about a specific comment section or
no? This is personally. Well, that too. That didn't. That put fuel in my fire. I read that comment section and god dang, people, relax.
I think it's intro time.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't have it in my hand here. So, all right.
I got 0 friends.
Two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. You can catch us live online on YouTube and Facebook Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And now, your hosts, Jay and Noel.
When I read that comment section, I was like, I don't think I want to go live on the podcast today. I think I will just wear a
read the
blanket.
whole. I did a stupid thing where
jacket?
I read about 90 comments or 100 comments last night.
Cover my face on the podcast and never show my face on the internet ever again.
I read about 90 to 100 comments last night alone, and I will before I even watched the video, and I was already on fire.
Yeah, right? Bro, I haven't even watched the video. Also,
well, I mean, you were there. You should know.
Yeah, I know what I said, probably. But here's the thing that I want to confront Dagan with if he ever does get on tonight. I thought he would edit some parts out, man. At least make me look good.
Well, no. I mean, that's the thing, though. You didn't exactly do anything wrong.
You think?
I mean, it's obvious that some of the discussions or the comments were in sarcastic mode, or you were being sarcastic. And it's not like you were wrong to begin with. Even I know that. As far as I know, BGC is into gig. And that's one of the biggest comments that was said there. And I was like, come on, dude, relax, people.
You know what this feels for me? It's maybe it's so masochistic or some kind of psychological dysfunction or something, but I'm thinking like, yes, pour in the negative comments. Yes, I love it.
Literally 15 seconds of fame.
Exactly. It's like, wow, this is what celebrities feel like. Jeez, come on, like bring it in. And then I was thinking my bank account is not like celebrity worthy. So
right.
Yeah, like if anybody is a celebrity and you get the hate, I'm not saying that you deserve it, but I hope you get compensated for it because I cannot handle. I'm probably not worthy to be a celebrity, is what I'm saying, especially here in the Philippines.
Right.
I'm not cut out for it.
Well, we'll get to that as soon as Dagan gets in or when he jumps in. I know he's driving home right now, but hopefully he can get on in a bit.
Driving home after scuba diving, spending some time at the beach.
I mean, just in a day's work.
Just another day in Bohol.
This guy, I went diving today. Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah, I might not make
I'm
it
dealing
tonight,
with AWODs and assholes over here.
Yeah, what's going on your side of the world, man? Wait, before I forget, I've been seeing a lot of tornadoes on the weather report on like your side of the world.
Yeah.
Are you part of Tornado Alley country? No,
that's further out there and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thought you were getting some action.
No, 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 no. Now, before we get into this whole thing, but yesterday I just had a couple of people that literally were being Karens. Okay, from every
Mhm.
direction that I can find, people were just snotty, rude, not even a simple thank you or whatnot. And and then to top it up, what started yesterday, I had a customer that pretty much bit my head off for no apparent reason, or maybe they have their own reason. But the key thing there is communication. Okay, if there's no communication in anything that you do, people, okay,
Mhm.
it's not
Mm.
gonna work out. Okay, you're not gonna have all the facts that you're gonna want.
But
Take note of that.
careful with just communication, though. It's not just any kind of communication. Like if I say you're a bald guy and we shouldn't trust you because you don't have any hair on your head, that's probably not the kind of communication that you're talking about.
Yeah,
I want to
in
clarify.
general, in anything that you do in life, okay,
Mm.
that involves anybody else, really, facts are pretty much based on the communication that you get. If you
What
don't
I'm
have proper communication, obviously there's going to be a lot of confusion, and people just tend to just want to listen to what they want to say. Whatever.
ako, ako
Anyway,
naman, ang sinasabi ko, yes, communication, but careful with the manner and way of communication that you do it.
that's
Because
exactly what it is. Yes.
if
Yeah,
you're
you're
gonna
right.
go into it with insults like, gee, his forehead is so huge, that's why I
I
shouldn't be listening to this guy.
Yeah.
That's probably not the proper way to communicate. So any
No,
kind of
absolutely not.
communication is not any kind of communication. We're talking about like proper,
I think
respectful.
I'm coming from patience basically. My patience is running thin to people as of late. I consider myself a pretty well mannered and polite person, or I try to at least. You
Mm.
know, and not just to people that are close to me or people that I know, to everybody else around me, because I would like for it to be reciprocated and given back to me. You know what I mean? I want it to be treated that same way. But people are just drive me crazy. I don't. That's it. You know what? I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm a little. I let it out a little bit. Okay. All right.
I
Well,
got something for you.
what's that?
Do you know which one is the longest piece of hair, longest hair strand in our body is? I don't know if I say that question
Oh,
correctly, but have you heard
well,
this before?
no, I've never. What would it be?
Longest hair strand on your body.
That's what.
If you pull like a hair strand from your butt, you notice you'll go like that. So you'll get a little bit of effect. It's just down there, but it'll go all the way up here.
That can't be accurate, man. That cannot be accurate.
I'm just pulling your leg in terms. I wanted
I
to ask you like what's pulling your nose hairs lately? What
Yeah,
like
yeah.
give us some details. Like somebody at work, you said? Somebody
No,
crossing the
no
street,
details on
somebody
that. I don't
somebody
want to deal with it anymore. To be honest with you,
somebody
I'm trying to relax now. I want to
somebody
move on.
cut you off. Somebody
N-
cut you off on the road.
No, 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 no. It literally was a one-on-one interaction, and as well as on the phone. That's it. Those were the
Wow.
two that really got to me. But listen, the one thing that's getting to me, that was Christine actually brought it up the other day,
Mm.
on the chat. What the heck is pares? Okay,
What do you mean?
pares, the food pares.
What do you mean?
So
What is pares? You don't know what pares is?
would I be asking it if I know? I don't know what pares is, but it looks absolutely delicious.
Google it. Be millennial and Google it. What's pares?
There's so many different versions. Pears. I mean, pares, also known as beef pares. What does that mean?
Uh,
Pares is, as far as I know, pares is pears or paired. Correct?
uh, uh, uh.
Okay, so what is it? Is
According
it
to
just
Wikipedia
beef
here,
stew with
it
and a rice dish?
is a term for serving Filipino food, braised beef stew with garlic fried rice. So that's the pares, the fried rice with the beef stew. Pares means
Oh
pear,
wow,
right?
that's the pair. I thought it's like two dishes like infused or paired together or put together.
Yeah. Oh, here. The second part of the explanation here: braised beef stew with garlic fried rice and a bowl of clear soup. So there's always clear soup. There's always garlic fried rice with or without the garlic, and well, I don't like the garlic. And then there's the braised beef stew. It's a popular food. Here's the important part. It's popular food, particularly associated with specialty roadside diner style carinderia establishments known as paresan,
So
because it's
it's
so
literally beef stew with fried rice
yeah
or with
yeah
rice.
yes yeah.
Okay, so that drives me crazy because here am I getting excited and all that it's like two specific dishes or different dishes that are paired together and put together. You know what I mean?
No, not necessarily. It's just that this beef stew always good goes well with the fried rice.
Oh, that is so underwhelming.
Yeah, but when you're
Another
on the
disappointment. God
when
damn
you're
it.
on the road, you're looking for something cheap and you're
Right,
looking for something to eat while you're standing up.
right.
Usually there are no chairs. Yun, pares is the way to go, because if you're gonna eat other like sinigang or whatever, it's like it's different to eat standing up.
Right,
So this
right.
whole pares thing, you're standing around the lugawan or you're standing around the paresan. Although there
Mhm.
are pares places that are like restaurants where you could sit around and actually eat like a fine dining pares. I
Yeah.
kid you not.
Uh-huh.
But the real experience is really the ingenuity of the Filipino roadside eateries are
Right.
you're standing up, you're eating, and you're comfortable with it because you just got your rice and you got your pares maybe on the paresan or on the table, and then you got like one spork. You don't have a spoon and fork, you only have like either one spoon or fork, and then you're eating that with one hand. And so you're eating the bowl on your
Right.
hand, with the
Right.
bowl on the table, with the spork on your other hand, and yun, kain tayo ng pares. And then you're done in like 5-10 minutes and you're out of there.
That's it.
Yun. But like I said, there are fine dining versions. But
I've been scouring YouTube since I found out about this the other day. The one that um Tin actually Christine shared.
oh,
This guy is all over the place. I mean, I'm talking about I don't want to say, well, yeah, okay, he's a gay guy. He's I'm just
ah,
saying that do you know that character
diwata.
Diwata? Okay, wow. This guy is making a name for himself just for
Hold
pares.
on. Before you get to diwata's pares overload, so here's an
Oh,
example of the pares. So you got your beef stew on the left, you
right.
got your rice, your basic garlic rice on the right side, and there's that clear soup on top on the orange plate.
Mm.
I mean on the orange bowl. So that's your
So it's a
pares.
the pares is the combination of the beef stew plus that clear soup.
They always come together, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. That's the pares. Okay. Well, this guy is making a name out of himself. You know what I mean?
Mm, 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 mm.
Apparently, the specific pares that he serves, people are traveling in and out all over the country for this guy, and he has made himself pretty profitable, if I do say so myself.
Another thing to worth the mention about pares is that each eatery can have their own parang version ba?
Oh,
Because I think you could kind of think of pares, I think, as maybe again, this is my own interpretation, but the way I understand it, it's like sort of like leftovers, parang bibimbap or something, and so you can sort of come up with your own version because there's no like basta pares siya with the rice. So the trick there, which I'm guessing why masarap,
mm.
is Diwata here came up with his own concoction na sobrang sarap nung pares. That the pares is the beef stew is itself, it's so good. And then you top that off with unlimited rice. Oh, Filipinos are gonna blow. That's how you blow our minds.
So is this what this guy is doing? Like unlimited rice as well?
I've never been there, but from the videos that I've seen and how I understand from Tin also is that
Right.
yeah, it's unlimited rice, good pares, and then soft drinks.
Yeah.
Yun ang
Yeah. Yeah.
sangka pa.
So this
That's the
guy,
one. That's like a 1-2 punch from Pacquiao.
this guy that's making this that's actually producing this video, he's the guy that's kind of cut off halfway there. That's exactly what he said, you know. But
Oh,
he was saying that his pares is like mixed with like chicharron bulaklag. It's so good, but it's so bad for you. It's ridiculous.
There's
Uh,
this. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why it's also yun Pares overload because he
right,
did this whole his whole thing where he didn't just do the beef stew.
right.
He threw in there the one that you said the
Chicharon bulaklak.
chicharron
He
bulaklak.
he he also put in some actual lechon kawale and whatnot.
Yun.
And I was like, oh, I was looking at that bowl that he's trying to mix up. Holy
Oh,
crap! Triple bypass waiting to happen. That's
heart
exactly what that is.
heart attack surgery on the way, and all in one bowl.
Right. He should have a finger on the other hand dialed in, trying to set up an appointment for his bypass surgery. That's what that he should be doing while eating.
Yun eh. But diba?
Yeah.
Simple pleasures from the Filipinos. One of the vloggers that I sent, I forgot to prepare this one, but there was a vlogger. His name's Noel. And I swear to God, I wanted to title my little channel also as like Noel, no, knows Noel or something like that. But so the
Mhm.
title that he came up with for his title was what I thought I would do with my like with my name Noel knows Noel also, but it just didn't fit. So that's the reason why I haven't been uploading or posting anything on my channel because I haven't
Right.
really made up my mind on what the title is going to be. But I digress. So yes, so everybody's happy for this guy
Mhm.
because I don't know if you know this one. There's a backstory with Diwata. It's not actually the first time that he's been on featured or even on camera.
He's all over the internet,
No,
especially
not
when it comes to Paris. He's all over the internet.
because of the Paris now, but before
Correct.
he was also featured, for a couple of other reasons for for
Right.
having something about nabugbog or something like that. Like he was fighting for someone, like he was living under a bridge, parang ganyan.
Mm.
Did you hear about this backstory?
Yeah, no, I've never heard of that. Never
So he
heard of
was
that.
featured before, something about being in a fight, and like he has character, and his
Right.
character caught on, and these news agencies, were happy to feature him. So that kind of sort of died down, I think. So that went away, and then he's up and catching people's attention again. This time with his little restaurant or with
Right.
his little
Right. Right.
carinderia on the side of the road.
I mean, he's made a little empire out of this business that he's got going on. Apparently, he's got multiple stands now all over the place, all over the city, and it's just bonkers and it's amazing. To be quite honest with you, my curiosity with Paris it
Started
started
with
off really
Diwata.
yesterday. Huh?
Started with Diwata.
No, no, no. Well, Christine brought up. I think it was Christine that brought up that link on the chat. So I'm like looking at it, and then
Uh,
because I started looking at social media, and this guy keeps popping up when it comes to Paris, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to try it now.
So you've
Yeah.
never tried pares in your life before?
No, I've never. I mean, I'm sure I've
Yeah.
had beef stew, but the whole actual Paris thing, I've never. As far as I know, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Nothing. Well, I've tried it a couple of times in Pasig before, doing my rounds on the streets. But I wouldn't say that it's not it's not going to blow your socks off kind of thing. But I love the fact that it's so good for the streets. Yun eh.
Right.
I've
Right.
tried it like on fine dining, like air conditioning, restaurant and everything. They accept credit card, that kind of place.
Right.
But it's not the same. You gotta be on the streets when you eat pares.
Right. Right.
Iba talaga eh.
Before in my time when I was back in the Philippines still, the thing that was really popping up in street food wise is goto. Yeah,
Yes.
which they still
Oh.
have, obviously, right?
Mm, mm,
Um
mm,
back then it was goto and it was like all about the craze and like, okay, what kind of topping I gonna put in? People were actually chopping up chicharon bulaklak and putting it on top of the goto as well
mm,
and all that
mm.
stuff. And then now it's like, it seems like Pares is taking over a long, for a bigger.
Dare I say that pares only picked up like in the early 2000s ish, I think. I'm only speculating here, but maybe because like people started going out and clubbing, and then
Yeah.
maybe people are looking for places to eat like on the streets. Maybe. I'm guessing, huh? I mean, I'm
Right,
no
right.
food historian like Roberto here, but um yeah, I don't think pares, was patok na patok, or it wasn't like popular as a even Filipino street food, or it's not even parang Pares wasn't even Pares was had its own like little street food stall, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't even on the Carinderia menus for a while, up
Oh.
until it started picking up on its own, and then the little Carinderias that were doing the staple sinigang and beef,
Mhm.
I don't know, beefsteak Tagalog or whatever. And then slowly, Pares started getting into the menu of the Carinderias. I think, again, this is
Mm.
my
Mm.
personal guess, but I don't think
Right,
I
right,
would
right.
be too far off when I say that. So yeah, I think early to 2000s ish, it started
Right.
picking up on the streets.
Right, right, right.
And yun, dinudumog siya, and then slowly, it started getting on the
You
menus
know
of the
what?
menu of
Come to think of
Carinderias.
it, last time I was in the Philippines, I think it was like 2012. Can't remember. But anyway, the last time I was there, it's been a while. I actually stayed at the Shangri-La Hotel in.
Shashal.
Yeah, it was pretty fancy, dude. I think it's in Greenbelt. Is it Greenbelt? Shangri-La?
Yeah, I think there's
It's
one
literally
there.
right across the plaza, like a pretty high-end plaza or something.
Uh, uh, uh,
Um,
uh.
anyway, so we stayed at the Shangri-La Hotel, and one night we went out across the street. Like I said, there's like a little plaza where it's like an outdoor plaza where there's also like a bar or whatever that
Mm,
celebrities went to. I do remember after the clubbing or going to the bar, we walked out, and one of the street corners, a little bit, couple street blocks down from the hotel, all of a sudden it's like a different world. And then there's a stand right in the corner where we ate. And I
mm.
do remember eating some kind of stew though. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm just, yeah, I mean, maybe, I'm like this
Yeah.
thinking that maybe that might have been, I might have actually tried pares already. But again, it's been so long, I don't remember. I was just thinking
Yeah.
to myself, yeah. Because it was at a corner. Remember that scene in BGC where you guys went around the corner into that away
Mm,
from from BGC and you go around the wall in the corner? It's like a whole different world.
mm, mm, mm,
That's
mm.
exactly similar to how it was when I went to the Philippines last, and I stayed at the Shangri-La. You go 2 blocks down, there's like this little wall, and you just go through this little makeshift gate, and then it's like a whole dimension.
Yeah.
You know,
Look, I don't know if this is the good time to segue into that topic already, but that's what I was thinking about. What was so beautiful about that vlog, I think, and
right?
what we probably missed, whether it's my fault or Dagon's fault for editing it that way or whatever. I think that's what people were missing in the comment section is that, and we can just stick to what you were talking about, Pares, and that wall in
Yeah, we can
BGC.
move on from that.
I think that's what people are missing with that. I mean, if I dare comment on people bashing me on Dagon's vlog, is that that's what we love and hate about the Philippines, more love than hate, really, for me at least. That there is like a clear divide between rich and poor.
Oh
That
yeah,
there is
absolutely.
that you can get both worlds in the
Right,
Philippines. And I
right.
think that's the juxtaposition about it. And it's like if you say like, oh, the Philippines is a dirty country, you can be butthurt about it. But at the same time,
But again, it's like say where it depends on where you went. Where did you go? You know what I mean?
and for context, when Dagan was asking me for a comment, I was talking in terms of BGC
Mm-hmm.
and like the rest of the Philippines. So that
Right.
in itself is like such a very broad, para overarching. Like, what do you think? Does this represent the Philippines? Diba? Parang,
Yeah. See, it's a borderline, Dell. I mean, it's oh man, that's like a whole topic on its own. Because
yeah.
is BGC really a representation of the Philippines? Yes, to a way, to a certain degree, absolutely, because it's where the Philippines is trying to head in. You
Mm-mm.
know, it's in the direction that they want to go to. But I think the problem with doing something like that is in most countries as well, there's an absolute obvious divide. Just like that little border, like you went into, but BGC, where you literally went around the corner and you're in a whole new world, you know?
And gotta be clear, that's just not the Philippines. So if you're butthurt about my comment about the Philippines being, negative or whatever, it's like
Right.
any country you go, there is positive and negative. One of my favorites is this idea that Egypt pyramids, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
just like literally just a couple of kilometers away, you get the whole
The
city.
whole city. Exactly.
Like, can you
Exactly.
imagine? Like, mind blown. We're talking about like pyramids that we don't have no idea how people put it up and built, and then all of a sudden, just right beside that, there's this It's the whole juxtaposition. I think
Right.
whether you're talking about Southeast Asia, rich or poor, Philippines, rich or poor. It's that it's you know. i- Appreciating the black and the white, the rich, the poor, the English speaking and the Tagalog, all at
Right.
the same
Right.
time. And I think that's what's sort of sad about the comment section, which I appreciate everybody commenting, by the way, because it's a bit sort of a slap in the face in a sense. Na
People, you know what? People are just not giving you the benefit of the doubt in regards to it. I mean, they literally read your comments and your way of communicating really differently. I mean, it was obvious that there was sarcasm and joking around in quite a number of those comments. And to begin with, a lot of the things that you said are true and accurate. They're just people are just so they're just they're bandwagon the bandwagon in
no,
people's
you know what it is.
what's that?
With all due respect to Dagon's audience, this
Yeah.
is what I think it is. I kind of realized that there's this party going on between Dagon and his audience, right? He's
Mm,
he's he's got a house party going on, and then they're playing. Let's say they're playing like house music, like doots, doots, doots,
right.
doots, doots, and people are like, yeah, 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 like hands up, hands up. And then all of a sudden, I walk in there with a little bit of, with a little bit of rock and roll,
Right.
and people are like, who's this guy?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, with all due respect to Dagan and his audience, parang there's this expectation because when people click on his video, this is the vibe, these are the comments, this is
Mm,
usually what people say, and you kind of get an expectation on what you're going to get out of the vlog.
right.
And then all of a sudden, you get this bald Noel guy speaking out of his ass when Dagan asks him, "So, what do you think about the Philippines? Does this represent the Philippines or whatever?" I really have not seen the video, and
Right.
I don't know what to say about it yet. But if people were butthurt about it, what I'm saying is I understand because that's what you came there for. It's like you walked into McDonald's and then all of a sudden you get like Jollibee spaghetti. you know.
Right. Right.
So I would be upset also, but at the same time, it's like, guys, do we need to comment on my flat fat forehead? I mean, do we need to talk about stuff like that? Let's keep it within
It's you
the
know what? I
topic,
mean,
which is
people are just they're just harsh. You know what I mean? They're brutal sometimes. I mean, they're like really this Asian couple that I mean this Chinese couple that you're interviewing or that you really come on, man.
si Tin, parang, oo, galit na galit sila sa'yo. Just so excited about people like responding because this is our first time that we're getting comments that are so passionate. And
Right.
unfortunately, this is not our audience. This is
Right.
not
Right.
the brand that we're, building. So again, like
You
I
know
said, with
what? You hit the nail on the head there because these are Dagon's Millennial Legends audiences, right?
which is mostly like Filipinos from abroad feeling homesick,
Right.
looking at, and you get this Filipino guy, commenting about how, complaining about left and right about the Philippines or something like that.
Right.
So
Well, these are his audiences, which is fine. But instead of like bashing on to like his guests and whatnot, why
mm,
not actually embrace it? You know?
ayan, mukha daw kasi kayo Chinese tourist.
Well, I mean, maputi kayo. Eh. What-
It's just expectation and weird also to be saying that we're like guides for Dagan and Alyssa, which is
right.
probably like in the wrong context in the sense that number one, I'm not a tour guide. I
Right.
don't know enough about BGC or anything about Metro Manila, which I realize I should. And, I lack a bit of insight. Maybe I should have read up on my history. But I was there as a local,
Correct.
with my local interpretation of my experience as a Filipino.
With people who are just you're just keeping them company, basically. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he slapped that camera in front of my face, and I'm like, "Well, this is what
Right.
I think."
I mean, it's not like you're a regular of BGC as well. You know.
Mm, mm.
So, well, he speaking of like
So
it opened that episode opened up my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, obviously, on the difference between BGC and the rest of the Philippines. Really, you know.
opened your eyes. What do you mean?
Well, because it meaning it like it really shows the difference. You know, for the most part of the episode, you're walking around in this amazing metropolitan area, right? The future of the Philippines of what they're hoping from what it seems. I don't know. I don't live there, okay? But I'm vicariously living through you guys, basically, and everything else that I watch. Um, and then it also shows it gives you a brief glimpse into the reality of things from what is currently is to what could be in the Philippines, by walking around that corner into that little portal into the unknown
Mm-mm.
where the current Philippines stands. And then
I
going
think
back afterwards to what could be the future of the Philippines.
again,
People should be looking at it that way.
I think it was lost on the video, whether it's Dagan's fault or my fault for saying this, but the whole day, we came from the cemetery, walked
Yeah.
around, had our lunch. We were talking about this carinderia the whole day. So in the back of our minds, in the back of
Right.
my mind
Mhm.
as a local, I was so excited to show him the carinderia because it's again the whole juxtaposition between
Right.
BGC and all of a
Right.
sudden you just cross this wall, and he was building it up with me also saying that, wow, let's find this place because some other vlogger vlogged it and said it's like a secret sort of carinderia around BGC, and it sort of looks and feels that way again because there's this wall, quite literally a wall between that carinderia and BGC in front of like the Hyatt for all out of all hotels in the world.
Right. Right.
Hyatt,
Right. Right.
like Regal Hyatt Hotel pa talaga that
Right.
it was right in front of. So that's just to say with a little bit of context na in the back of my mind, I was really thinking about the juxtaposition between the rich and the poor all in one place. So we were
Right.
excited about to show that. So
Right.
even when
Right.
we were talking about like, oh, does this the BGC represent the Philippines, or what do you think about the engineering of this mall? I was thinking along the lines of black and white,
Mhm.
good
Mhm.
beaches, bad beaches, Pasig River versus the paradise of Boracay and all the
Right.
other
Right.
islands that we have in the Philippines. Like, how do you
Right.
answer that like in a sound bite, diba?
You can't really though. You can't.
But what I wish I did say more clearly was to clarifying to not make it sound like I was complaining about the Philippines, that
Mhm.
there are so many different kinds. It's not just poor or it's not just rich.
So to jump into what you just said there, before I'm sorry to cut you off, but before I lose my train of thought here, one of the comments that I read actually that really got to me as well is it's a simple comment. You are finding faults in the country that you live in, that you're
Yeah.
living in. I saw
Yeah.
that comment in. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's word for word verbatim, but I don't think he's looking for faults into where he's living. Okay, we all do that in our own way.
Mm-mm.
You were simply stating facts. You know,
But I think, in fairness, again to Dagan's audience,
right?
is that they walked into that party, that vlog, expecting happy-go-lucky Dagan and Alyssa having fun, and then all of a sudden
Right.
there's this local Filipino guy that's complaining about his own country.
The tour guide.
The tour guide, like, who's he? Get him out of your vlog. So
Right,
number
right.
one lesson learned: yes, I won't be in Dagan's vlog anymore because I'm not a good tour guide. I'll probably come up with my own
Mhm.
vlog complaining about the Philippines in another channel completely. Again, with all due respect, because that's the brand slash party that Dagan started. And then
Right.
if I come in, then so they're playing like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
house music, and then all of a sudden I come with my electric guitar or my hip hop crew. Parang like teka, who are these guys? So I totally understand that comment. Yun nga, some of
Right,
them maybe
right,
were a little bit below the belt and trying to be more hurtful than it needed to be, but I totally get it.
right. Going back to that, what you just said before I cut you off, really how BGC and that little border is like starting. Is it starting to become? Here's a question for you in regards to this. Is it really an absolute divide where it shows the poor and the rich
Yeah,
between the two
yeah, but
areas?
but the irony about I'm trying to pull up the vlog right now.
Right.
I'm what you call this? Uh, if you read carefully in some of the comments, yes, it is like rich and poor because there's tricycles and people that are commuting and not driving around with their Bentley or their Mercedes or what, right?
Mm.
But you never know, those people that are living on that poor side of the of town
Mm-hmm.
might be dressing poor or they look like squatter or what, but at the same time you never know who's actually well off and not well off there. It's a very, you know again, probably in any part of the world, Chinatown especially, kind of
Apples
thing
and
where you
oranges, literally.
walk
Apples and
in.
oranges. Yeah.
But if your question is it completely different? Absolutely. From the street lights to
Mm-hmm.
the hole on to the hole on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to the way that the ground is paved, ibang iba. As in, it's like totally world apart.
Is BGC being looked at as with so many foreigners and expats that are actually moving to BGC as well? Is it starting to become there's a lot of comments that it's starting to become the norm.
What do you mean it's starting to become the norm? BGC is starting to become the norm.
For to most people that look at the Philippines, BGC
Uh,
is the norm,
uh, 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 uh.
But maybe it's because those are people who are mostly used to living in the city like that. They haven't really
Mm,
ventured out in their lives outside of the city, or
mm.
they've never lived outside of the city. So maybe that's why they're looking at it that way. Is it a bad thing really that having BGC there, um, and having that divide basically between those two worlds? It's one country with two worlds, but those two worlds basically. That's what that is. Okay. I mean, at least when I look at it, between BGC and that little wall to whatever city that is, it could be like a divide. It's two worlds, right?
Hold on, I'm getting really distracted because something's playing in my ear, and I don't know what it is and where it's coming from. Hold on.
It's one of the videos that you have on.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. I'm good now. Sorry. I did not hear a word that you said because something was playing in the background. Something about BGC. That's
Right.
about
I
all
mean,
that I
it's
heard.
gotten become like that little wall that I saw
Mm,
that you guys went around to.
mm, 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 mm.
It's really a divide between two worlds because BGC and then the rest of the world. Now, first of all, what city is that you guys is that still Taguig?
I want to really be careful now. I don't know.
Right.
I think technically it is still Taguig, but
Right.
It's outside of BGC already. So
Okay.
BGC is inside Taguig. Taguig is a really big place, right?
Right.
But BGC is just up until that wall, and then when
Mm,
you go
mm,
past that wall, like it's a different barangay already. But it is
right.
still technically Taguig.
I mean, it looks like it's a beautiful city, BGC. I've never been there, obviously, but I'd love to eventually visit. And
And what?
I'm sorry, there's just like a comment that just popped up in the Dagan's video, the Millennial Legends video.
What are you
Can I
talking
can I?
about?
Because I
Yeah.
have that video, the comments right next to me right here, and there's
Oh.
this one that just popped up that just said that
A new
I'm
one.
honored. I'm honored to have you as a guest in the Philippines, talking to Dagan. But that
Mm.
Filipino guy you are with is totally rude. He is a disgrace to the Filipinos for sure. Even though he is trying so hard with his vlogs. Come on, dude. People, really relax. How I don't see anything that just popped up and it just got to
Yeah.
me.
So if you guys are just joining us, we're talking about Dagan here from the Millennial Legends, BGC, Fancy Filipino Mega City, Venice Mall, Uptown, Secret Street Food. That's what we did for the day. And I was his accidental tour guide. And we're sort of basically commenting on the comments, reacting on the comments that people have been commenting today. So,
Dude, can I real quick? Can I
yeah,
share this real quick? Okay.
yeah.
It just came out. You should never do this. All right. I am a little bit disappointed that you replied to this, just to be honest. Okay.
Oh, what do you mean? That I
This is
apologize?
that this is that comments that I was looking at. That
Mm,
literally just popped up. It says here, uh okay. It says here, I'm honored that you have the gas, but yada yada yada. For sure, this guy is totally rude. He is a disgrace to Filipinos, etc., etc., etc.
that's me.
No, well, that's what that guy's commenting. This is what you said.
Oh,
You replied, please accept my sincere apologies if I was rude and misrepresented being Filipino.
mm.
No, stop. You don't need to apologize for that. You are entitled to your own opinion, your thoughts, even to your own country, most especially to your own country.
Yeah. But you know
You,
what? I was taking a dump and I was sort of in a hurry. But yeah, that's the funny thing, right? Like
here's the best part of being able to do this live. Stop. Tap, 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 tap. You need not apologize for what you did or say.
so yeah, there's a little spelling
You
error there that you can correct while I'm talking
oh
here.
sorry,
Ako
sorry, sorry,
naman,
sorry.
I just really appreciated the comment. Maybe I should have been more insulted. Maybe I should have been hurt. I mean, there is a little like cell in my body that got hurt. But at the same time, again, I said, this is not my audience. I realized that I'm walking into somebody's party with my own, like, you know, different beat over
Right.
the drum. And at the same time, they they were looking for something positive to hear about the Philippines. And I just, farted out of my ass to think, now, well, there are some things that we don't like about the Philippines. And that was just the impression that I got throughout the whole day, that we'd keep it real. It's not really like a tourist vlog where we just show the positive things and keep it light and bubbly, like Sesame Street or Batibot or something like that. I mean, we were thinking that the audience is pretty mature enough to hear both the positive and the negative, and don't we didn't want to underestimate the audience, so to
Sure.
speak. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, if I said something stupid, I'd trust Dagan to just take it out, and if whatevs,
You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying. I replied
But
there. Look.
I
Stop.
really felt
You
that
need
apology. I really felt that apology. I was like, sincerely,
no.
mga kababayan, pagpasensyahan nyo na ang aking pagkakamali.
Walang mali dun sa representation mo. First of all, it's not like you were really representing the Philippines there. It's like more like a personal opinion or thought that you expressed, which is fine.
What did
It's
I say,
human.
you think?
What's that?
What did I say exactly? You think that they're like that he's
Oh, it
really
could be. It could be a
complaining
couple of
about?
things. It could be a couple of things. To be honest with you, it could be a couple of things.
The other day you were asking me if I was starstruck.
Hmm.
I think it's fair to say that I was starstruck with Dagan, not because like who is a star, but more like he's so freaking tall. Number one,
Hmm.
and then number two, that they were just like on it. Like, are they on drugs? Are they snorting something that I'm not snorting? Because I was
You
just like trying to keep up with him. Is basically
right.
what I'm saying. So
Right. Right.
if I said something stupid, it was it. I blame it all on Dagan. But
All I'm saying in regards to that, guys, cut Noel some slack. All right, he did his best. He wasn't there as a tourist. He was literally there as a companion, hanging out with some friends and whatnot. You know.
and I blame you for turning me on to Dagan and Elissa, Millennial Legends, the vlog that we're responding to now, because quite literally it was just 1 or 2 weeks before you were saying, "Hey, check out these guys." So I'm looking at them, watching them, and then a couple of weeks later, remember those guys that I said that you should check out because they're vlogging about the Philippines and it's so
Right,
cool
right,
to
right.
watch their vlogs. They're going to Manila in a couple of days. You should go check them out. And I'm like, okay, let's go
Well, I
fight.
mean, it. They were cool people.
Yeah.
They were cool people. What do you want me to do?
He asked me a couple of questions and I gave my honest answer. I didn't want to sugarcoat it. And that's what
Right,
came out of my ass or my mouth. And that's what I said.
right,
It's not
right, right.
that's the apology that I'm like saying. And yeah, of course, I agree with you. I probably shouldn't apologize. But at the same time, I figured I would apologize because it's not my audience. It's not my, again, I was just a guest at the party.
No,
And
you need
maybe
not apologize.
you think, you
No,
think,
you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You were literally there hanging out, and he was asking you some questions and your thoughts on certain things. It's normal. It's perfectly normal.
but don't you admire or aren't you jealous of how passionate and defensive Dagon's audience is to today or to Dagon or to the Philippines?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like,
I
don't
mean,
you wish that we had a
that's
audience like that? No, no, get out of Dagon's vlog, get out of Noel and Jason's podcast. You don't belong there.
with all
Don't ever
honestly,
invite him to your don't ever invite him to your vlog anymore.
it'd be nice to have that kind of audience and especially commenting like that to our show and to our little podcast here. Okay, because I would personally embrace those kind of conversation that's going on into that particular video because I'm curious. I'm very curious still because as a Filipino who lives abroad, who hasn't been home in so long, who hasn't grown I didn't grow up in the Philippines. I am learning these things, you know?
Learning
Now,
what? What did you learn from this
in regards
aside from
to
the
the
comments section? But did you learn anything from the vlog? From Dagon's vlog?
yeah, the different worlds of BGC and the rest of the Philippines, basically. That's what I learned. That's what I got. I literally saw the view the entire time watching it. Like I said, it showed me the two dimensions of the Philippines. You know,
Mm.
I mean that scene where you were at BGC right next to that hotel, walking along down that little wall and turning into that corner to go down this dark little alley path, and then all of a sudden it opens up into like a whole different world. And then to see the difference, all you had to do was turn your head and look up where you can see the hotel. It's
That's
such a
right.
difference, you know? Different world.
That's right.
And it's
And again,
amazing seeing it.
maybe that was what was lost in the whole message was the juxtaposition between the rest of the gig versus
Yeah.
BGC, and you can
Right.
love it or hate it, and that's even further amplified with the comment section on the video, people hating on me or whatever. That
Mm.
there are some people, and I don't know how many people have watched it already, but there are some people that would be so butthurt about it, which I appreciate, by the way. But that's
Right.
the thing, some people will really love the Philippines no matter, even if they see the bad parts of the Philippines, they'll turn a blind eye to that and say, no, 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 the country is still a beautiful country, which is true.
It's true.
But at the same time, you can also hate parts of it, which is how I feel about it, that I could hate or be frustrated at some parts of it. But at the same time, I still love the country.
Right. Right.
I think that's the more for me. I find that a healthier way in a sense. Now I see both the good and the positive about the country, the person, whatever it is that I'm saying that I love,
Right. Right.
and I see both realities that there is good and bad about. There's nothing that's all 100% completely good and all 100% completely bad. Because
Mhm.
again, we were just messing around with the idea that this is BGC, ha ha ha, represents the
Right.
Philippines.
Right.
Obviously,
Right.
it doesn't represent the whole country.
Mhm.
Obviously,
Right.
we're not lost in the idea that the Philippines is, the pearl of the Orient. We know that.
Right.
But the whole joke of the idea, if there is any joke, and it's probably not a joke, but the whole the cherry on top really is the juxtaposition between, you know, the Carinderia right here
Hmm.
and Hyatt and the Bonifacio High Street right beside it.
Literally right next to you. It's divided by a wall.
So if there are like negative comments that I said about the Philippines, it was just to highlight that whole idea that yes, we have good and bad about the Philippines. We have everything here. We have halo halo here.
Right, right.
And that's what it's all about. You might not like the pinipig in the halo halo and then just ask to take it out. But that's the beauty of, I think that's the beauty of what we got in the Philippines.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, it's the juxtaposition of things where it's two separate worlds, really. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, people need to just realize that you know what people have different point of views on things and how they look at things. There are Filipinos that live there. I'm sure I'm probably going to get some hate on this. That will probably say, "Hey, um, BGC is a perfect representation of the Philippines," and there's going to be
Well, the
people that are
best
going to say,
it's
otherwise.
the best representation. I hope you don't mind playing it just a little bit again because I haven't really seen it. I just wanted to let it play like in the background.
Right.
Jordania. Hello.
Noticeable
Yeah, play it. No,
secret
no. I mean,
street
just turn
food
down the
in
volume if you don't
BGC.
mind. But just so that
Oh,
we can. So, if you guys just joined us, this is what we're sort of talking about, reacting today. The comments of Dagan and Alyssa's Millennial Legends latest
right.
vlog at BGC, and we're
Right.
kind of
Right.
just reacting to it. And here's Jason
Right. Right.
playing it in the
Um,
background.
real quick on a couple of audiences there that are looking in. Yes, Jordmania, it is live.
Yeah,
Just
we're
to let you
live right
know.
now.
You can check
Yeah,
us out on YouTube as well at the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. Anyway, um,
CAA. Who's CAA? Hello, you're on break.
I'm on break till 8. Hey, thanks for checking in, man.
Yeah, what's up, bros? Nice to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, if you haven't seen the video, check out the video and then maybe look at this. Join us in
Right,
this vlog recently.
right.
I mean, on this podcast that we're doing now. But let's go back before we wrap up, though. Let's go back to like the
Yeah, go ahead, go
original
ahead.
topic of this podcast, which we titled, "Rich or Poor: The Truth." And
Right,
we just so happen to be talking about the Millennial Legends vlog, which also just came out today. But the
right,
real
right,
reason
right.
why you brought up this title, Rich or Poor, The Truth About the Philippines, was because there was another video that I shared with you,
Correct,
right?
correct.
Did you want to comment on that or say something about it? Or because the
It's
I think if I may, the whole gist of the original video that you wanted to share, which is not the Legends
no,
video.
well, actually, I chose that title specifically because it ties up exactly with the video that you sent
Yeah.
and this Dagan's video that came out with specifically with the BGC, you know.
Yun nga. But that first documentary that you shared, it was all animated and everything. It's not a vlog.
Correct.
But
Correct.
somebody was explaining why the Philippines from the 50s and 60s and 70s was so like up there. We were like first world country out throughout the
Correct.
rest of Asia. And then
Hmm.
everybody else went up and then we just sort of went down and it sort of got left behind. And
Stagnant.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
as far as development is concerned. So his thesis on the video was that we got left behind because of corruption, leaders,
Correct.
etc., etc. But we did have that potential, and I guess we
Right.
still do. We still have that potential to be first world type of country, like Singapore, Malaysia, and all the
Right.
other
Right.
Southeast Asian countries. But what's your take on that? What's
So
your
I don't really think. Okay. Please don't hate on this. Okay. I don't know. Well, the Philippines is ranked as 73rd poorest country in the world. Okay. Which
Mm.
I don't think that's fair. Okay. I personally don't know. In
Is it
every,
an
first of all,
hold on? Here's the thing: is it an insult when somebody says that the country that you come from, Jason, is poor, number 73? Is it
well,
insulting?
it, I don't think it's insulting. Okay. But
Oh,
it's definitely understating or misrepresenting the Philippines in some way.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
Um, I don't think the Philippines is poor. It's just being handled incorrectly. somebody get just commented right now. The Philippines basically somebody took some money away from the country that basically took away the opportunity, really, in regards to building proper infrastructure or a better economy for the country. I don't know. And then it was followed up by this comment: the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer. That's fact. I actually was thinking the exact same thing in regards to um, the Philippines and its economy, because it's true. It's being dwelled on right now. That's how people are being, or that's how people are, in a way. How should I put it? Well, here's the question: is there a middle class in the Philippines?
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Right.
being in the middle class is, for the most part, in the Philippines, is the most some families will probably reach in their life. Okay.
Okay.
One, because opportunity is not being fair. The opportunity that's available is kind of unfair in the Philippines. You know, it's really catered to the rich getting rich, the poor getting poorer, and then the middle ground are so stagnant and like and flat with their lifestyle
Mm.
that I don't know if they're sharing into the what are you doing? Keep flipping things around.
Because it's the other way. It's covering our faces. So I
There,
thought
just
I
leave
would just.
that. That's fine like that.
Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Uh, Rich and poor, comparing it and what it's really like. Trying to
Right.
sort of wrap
So,
up your whole idea about
like
The
this
truth.
comment is saying, the middle class will not get richer because they've practically plateaued in regards to their opportunity, right?
Mm.
The possibility of getting richer in the Philippines is so rare because the rich will only cater to the rich for the most part.
Mm.
It's to basically expand in their wealth.
They swim around in their own bubble.
Right. Now, is the Philippines gonna is that helping the Philippines as a whole in the country? I don't think so. For the most part, the economy will never improve until, dare I say, certain people, open up more, open the country up more, basically.
Business open up in terms of business.
Yes. You need the international business to go in there.
I,
I'm
w- I
sorry.
w-
It's just because the local businesses, they're not going to spend their own money to try to open up more businesses that's actually going to serve the country.
are you saying that the international we're not so open to international business as much as we should be?
I don't think so. There's a wide. Don't take my word for it. Okay, this is all from what I see and what I've read. Okay, but for an average um, international business is brought into the country is going to improve the economy diversely. It's going to open up more opportunities for the citizens of the country to maybe break over that plateau that keeps them into that middle class. Diba?
I get you. I get you. But I don't think I'm enough of an economist to really comment on that. But my experience or my
Mm,
opinion about what's going on, for me naman, my two centavos on this is education. So that's what I thought you were saying when we need to open up. And I realized I think both are right that we need to open up both our
that too.
businesses to
Right.
international, but at the same time we need to open up our minds
Hmm.
to and that's how you open up, the next generation's minds is to educate them
Well,
about
what's
what's actually
happening?
going on.
So,
Eh,
from what I see as well, I'm sorry to cut you off. What's happening in the Philippines? The one percenters in the Philippines are, when I say one percenters, they're typically the rich people. Okay, by the
mm,
way, the one percenters in the Philippines are opening up a lot of these opportunities to their own kinds. Okay, but they're also trying to cater to the lower class and the middle class. What's happening there is, instead of um, um, they're catering in a way where they're making more money And from what they're building, it's causing everything else around them to rise up in prices,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
So that's how it's happening there. That's why it's making it harder for everybody else to strive in a way.
Yeah, but again,
But definitely
even
they're just
before that,
right.
I,
They're
I think
benefiting themselves.
the whole the whole opening up business is just parang I think that would be like level 2 already. For me,
Mm,
level 1 would really be education and just like to sort of unite in such a way now, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this both forward and backward. Okay, we're going to
mm,
do this both progressively and we're also going to appreciate history at the same time, which is another thing. You know,
mm-hmm,
the fact that we can't appreciate history, we don't really know where we're coming from, we don't really therefore know where we are, and then it's hard to sort of map out where we're going to go if we can't really again appreciate history and then be real or accept where we really are, which is we're both poor and rich at the same time. I think that's the thing. You know, parang we need to
mm.
accept where we are.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
again,
I agree.
before you open up like businesses, international businesses, which is all well and good, we can all do that all at the same time and everything. And again, I don't know enough to comment about that. But again, that's I think that's like level 2, 3, 4, 5 already. As far as let's start from the real beginning, which is how are we taking care of people slash how are we educating people slash what opportunities to have for people and what kind of mindset are we yun nawala si Jason. Pero for me that's it eh. Like what
Hold the
culture
ranks.
are
I'm gonna log out and get back
yeah,
in.
yeah. But that's my thing. Like what culture slash kultura or pangangalakal or the kind of what kind of business practices are we teaching our youth, our people, our countrymen in a sense like are we teaching, are we saying that we're only going to move forward if everybody is rich or if everybody is given equal housing? Is that the only way? Or are we going to be able to do that by educating people and teaching people, teaching locals, teaching Filipinos in the Philippines, not just the ones outside of the country? Here's another point that I wanted to say, Jay,
Yep.
is that we have to teach Filipinos that we deserve better. I think that's the thing. Parang sometimes we have this mentality na, well, Filipino tayo. This is what we deserve. This is, you get what you think you deserve. And I think there's some kind of culture about being
I, I,
humble and being
I don't know if I can agree with the comment stating that you get what you deserve type of thing in regards to that.
no, no, no. Allow me to clarify the fact
Okay.
that
Okay.
that ties up with like the leaders that we choose. That's basically really what I'm saying.
Hmm.
It's like, why are we choosing these kinds of leaders, whether they're good or bad? Parang it represents us. Eh.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's
so,
true.
so that kind of ties up with what I'm saying about we get what we deserve, or we
Right.
we get no, not no, sorry, not we get what we deserve. We get what we think we deserve. I think
Is it settling? Is that what it is? Filipino are settling.
maybe. So that's another thing. So education, choosing the right leaders, having the standards for being for being a good leader. So that's my
Right.
2 centavos.
Um, Continue real quick. Real quick. I gotta do something real quick.
That's it. I ran out of steam already. But that's really just the thing. Education, choosing the right leaders. And I don't remember. Oh yeah, from the video that I shared, is the Philippines rich or poor? There was a comment. The voiceover said something there about in the Philippines, anybody can be a president. Rich, poor, educated, not educated, with or without political background, anybody can be a a leader, which I guess is a good thing or a bad thing, but we don't really we tend to gravitate more towards celebrities.
Right.
Celebrities become
Right.
politicians. So yun.
You know,
So
I really do agree with the whole education. It starts from education. Yes, that's true. But that's nearly impossible in a country that looks at education as a business in a way.
Education as a yeah, that's another topic.
Yeah,
That's
that's
another
another topic on its
podcast.
own. Yeah. It's a whole discussion where the opportunity is not being provided by by the people at large, you know. But and it all, I think it's hard to, it's a wishful thinking for a country that, like I said, in a way, I could be wrong. Again, don't take my word for it, but from what I see and from what I experienced living there as a kid, education is being looked at as a business, and it's hard to start that way. So,
Anywhere really,
yeah,
education is a business. But yeah, well, that's another topic for another day. But here's another thing. Maybe we could close off with something like this with
yeah,
CAA commenting here. Yes, we should stop being resilient, which is a good thing. It's a good thing about being Filipinos, being resilient. That's great. But at the same time, we can demand better. We can expect more from our leaders,
hmm,
expect more from our, judicial system or whatever it is that we might want to complain about. That
yeah,
we can ask for higher standards and expect more from our leaders. And at the same time, we can be resilient. It's not
mm,
black and white. It's not like, oh, hayaan mo na, inuman na lang, resilient lang tayo,
mm.
lilipas rin yan. Yes, lilipas rin yan. But at the same time, we can demand more from our leaders.
Absolutely,
'Di ba?
absolutely,
So yun, that's the juxtaposition. It's not rich or poor. It's both and everything at the same time. That's my
give,
two centavos. Did you
yeah.
have a black and white answer about it?
No, actually, you nailed it in the head. It opens up a wider discussion in regards to, is the Philippines poor or not, because the opportunities has always been there. But you were right. It all starts at a level where who do we choose to lead us and to guide us, right? I'm
Mm,
saying us like I'm a resident of the country. I apologize. But
feeling,
I
feeling
have
resident.
experienced I have experienced the hardship in the Philippines as well. So I've lived there. I grew up there in a little case, you know. But yeah, hey guys, we ran out of time. It's unfortunate that Dagan could not join us today. Hopefully he can jump in on Sunday. We'll try to get him on Sunday and have a discussion with him. Anything else you want to add on to what's going on?
There was a quick, yeah, if you have another minute, there was another thing that I wanted to make sure that I shared. Completely
Hmm.
forgot about it. If you could just give me 1 second to share my screen, I think this would be a really good place to sort of cap it off with just this you call this a meme or a cartoon?
Hmm.
More fun in the Philippines. Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas. Yes, I love Philippines. Proud Pinoy. Ang galing mo, idol.
Right.
And then on the bottom, promote ko na rin yung sugal. Ganito lang, sahod natin, no? So everybody's all happy and everything, but at the same time, we're quietly frustrated
Right.
and upset about some things. Alisin na din daw ang mga jeep, which is another sad thing that we're talking about lately.
Right.
So, it's just the juxtaposition that we're proud. But at the same time, there are things that we can complain about our culture and
Absolutely.
complain about our leaders in the
Right.
same time. And I think that's a healthier way to look at it, in the sense that we're both looking both positive and negative about the Philippines, and not just the pretty
You
beaches.
have to. That's my last thing that I'm gonna say here. Okay, this relates to some of the comments as well that was done on Dagan's episode. You have to look at your own place in both the ugly and the not so ugly. The first thing in solving any kind of problem is recognizing that there is one.
Mm-mm. And not just be resilient and like, ooh, happy,
Correct.
happy, it's
Right.
okay.
Right. 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 Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining. That went on really quick today. It felt like it was like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
we'll try to get Dagan on Sunday. Check us out on Sunday. Next episode is going to be this Sunday, like I said, at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Philippines. Um,
Check out the Millennial Legends vlog that we've been talking about all night.
Correct.
The latest one on BGC. Not because I happen to be there, but check out the negative comments. Check out the what people are saying, and I guess agree, disagree with what I'm saying. And then I said
Right.
again,
Right.
with all due respect to Dagan's audience, we appreciate your comments and we look forward to your insights.
Right. Right. Again,
But check it
thanks
out.
guys for joining us. Episode 148 is done. We're gonna try to get Dagan on the next episode to get his 2 cents on things. Final words you want to add on?
Ah, that's all good. Thanks for entertaining the whole idea of talking about that tonight. That was a good thing to get out of our chests.
Right, right. It went by really quick, and sadly, the conversation doesn't end there.
Go to
All right,
work,
guys.
boy. Go to work.
Check us out next week. I mean, next Sunday. I apologize again.
And I
Go
will
to
finish the
YouTube.
rest of my buko juice. Oh, Pinoy, ha? Pinoy.
Nice, nice.
Supporting local business.
YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whatever. You guys know what to do. Check it out. The Flip Side with Jane. Well, hey, Celestina, thanks for tuning in. Haven't chatted with you in a while. Thanks for the lovely comments.
She's busy working right now. She's in the middle of a shift,
Yeah.
like listening to us at the same time. So,
All right, guys. Again, this is The Flip Side with Jay Noel. My name is Jay.
name's Noel.
We'll catch you guys later.
On the flip side.
Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us on the next episode, Sunday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. This is